Heath Ledger as the Joker, one of the most iconic villains of our generation. This man took a very commonly portrayed villain from the original 1940s comic book and re-updated it into one of the scariest portrayals we had ever seen in any movie adaptation. So naturally, there's a lot to capitalize, and unfortunately, most of the capitalization happened after he passed away, but let's not get into that. What we will get into is the newest action figure of his likeness. This is the Playarts Kai action figure of Heath Ledger's Joker. Now, bear in mind, for some reason, the best action figures of Heath Ledger are extremely expensive. And I'm not talking about the carded classic figures with a more realistic approach. No. I'm talking about, well, let's see. How many Hot Toys figures did they make? At least 3 or 4? They had one that was very generalized. They had one that was like the ultimate Joker figure, which is just him at the climax of the movie. They made a nurse variation, and then they made one of him in the bank robber costume, which is probably the only action figure I found with him featuring the clown mask that is accurate. Yeah, you have the DC Direct one, which I also have, that includes the bank robber mask, but the rest of the costume's different, so it doesn't quite work the same. Remember what he said in the movie?
Wait, the suit, it wasn't cheap. You ought to know, you bought it.
Now, another thing is, the Hot Toys figures, I've already explained before, overpriced. The quality, yeah, they look good for the most part. They've been getting better as it goes, but they're still frail, they're still a pain in the ass to maintain, they're overpriced. To me, that's not worth it. That's why I get these. Playarts Kai figures. They're expensive, but not quite as expensive. This is my 6th figure. The other ones, I'll show you, mostly for comparison. This is what I call the middleweight variation, meaning it's expensive, it's 9 inches tall, but there are bigger ones, like Dante or Isaac Clarke from Dead Space 3. And in this case, this sucker cost me $78 at my local comic store. Now, online, you will find that they typically retail anywhere from $50 to at least $60, usually $60. And usually shipping and handling has something to do with it. In store, though, it's anyone's guess. So, I'm not going to delay any further. Let's open them. So the first thing you'll notice about the box art is that it recreates the poster style of Dark Knight Rises, which is cool, but kind of odd since it had nothing to do with the poster art of the movie, but, well, the one that he was from anyway. So, we got a fairly good shot of the prototype figure here. Ignore the price sticker from my comic shop. The Dark Knight, Playarts Kai. Number 4, the Joker. The other 3 in the series is Bailman, Bane, and Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. They look pretty good. Playarts Kai has a habit of stylizing characters, including those 3, and Batman and, Bailman and Bane are more evident. I mean, Bailman is a lot beefier than he is in the actual movie, and, Bailman looks more like an anime character. So, on the side here, more to the box art, the label, the logo for the Dark Knight, well, Dark Knight Trilogy. Let's see, the same thing here. Back of the box, which these are the prototype pictures they were posting on the internet for a while there. And of course, a little inconsistency that I keep bringing up. And it doesn't look like it comes with very much, and you'd be right. And of course, there's a picture of Anne Hathaway's Catwoman with a very, I don't get why they constantly add a gun to Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. She used it one time. In fact, she really didn't use it. She just threatened one guy with it. And she didn't really use it all that much, and it just, well, not really her thing. The figure of her itself looks okay, but I'm going to stick with my Arkham City figure. So, like most collectibles, it has a little open, easy access window there. I like that little sticker there. I got them out already. I've had them for a while, actually. I got them on my birthday. So, In case you can't read it, a sinister game of survival leading the world to destruction. As if to scoff at the Batman, the protector of Gotham City, one man makes his presence known, the Joker. It's simple, he says, we kill the Batman, as he recruits the mob, luring them with half of all the money he has stolen. The Joker tenaciously targets Batman using any means possible. Behind all of his heinous crimes is his master plan to destroy all order and sit back and watch the world fall apart. Within the chaos of Joker's realm, a game of survival begins. Crime is the best joke. A madman scoffs. This man has no reason or logic. He is the kind of man who leaves the Joker playing card at the crime scene as if murder and mayhem are just the game he plays to keep himself amused. A white face, red lips that reach from ear to ear, a piercing glare that makes this man look more maniacal. The Joker claims that the world is a bad joke, provoking the Batman by calling him a freak just like himself. As he makes it clear that every utterance, the Joker looks down upon peace and scoffs at concepts of justice and love. And it seems the only thing that pleases him is to assure that the world descends into bedlam. I love how often the word scoff popped up in that. So yeah, this came with, well, I'll show you in just a second. Behind the tray, though, is the first time I've ever come across a holder or a stand. So, let's go to the figure. So here he is, the Joker. And he has a very, very good resemblance to Heath Ledger. I bet you this thing would pop up on Facebook wanting me to tag him. Alright, now the first thing I'm going to talk about is not the figure, but this thing. This is the stand that comes with him. And when I first found this, I thought this was a blessing. It's like they made you earn it. I'm glad that we got one of these finally. A lot of the figures, you know that the character's very dynamic, you want to pose them dynamically, but it's really hard to get them to stand that way without one of these things. And this sucker, well, it's strong, it's sturdy. You can hold my Arkham City Batman. I've had him like that on this thing for days. Well, actually weeks now. And, well, you had to assemble this thing. This was a pain in the ass! I am not kidding. It was annoying. In fact, if you loosen it just the slightest bit to get a figure on or off, you gotta tighten it all over again. That means my Swiss Army, as soon as I'm done with this video, I have to grab the Swiss Army knife and tighten it up again. Yeah, you might be saying, get over it. It just takes half a second. I'm lazy, like most of the majority of people in the world. So they should probably fix that. Why not just make it ratcheted of some kind? Oh well, anyway, it's cool to at least have it. And it does bring up the question why they bring up an action stand with him when Joker did not do anything very dynamic in the movie. He mostly just posed and looked cool. As you can see, very, very good lightness to his face. You can see all the joints, the shoulders, which actually swing outward, so you can actually do more of a pointing gesture. They're very loose compared to like Batman's and Catwoman's. Double jointed and ratcheted. Removable hands. Let's see, the chain on his hip here is plastic. Let's see, ratcheted crotch. I know that sounds funny. Double jointed knees. I love the shape of these because the pants are hiding the joint much, much better than you typically see on a Play Arts Kai figure. The ankles are ratcheted too, and it looks good, looks good. The coat is soft plastic. I love this thing. Brief size comparison time. Joker level with Batman. He's actually slightly taller except for the ears. And Arkham City Catwoman, who he's slightly taller than. And Star Wars figures here, they're perfectly leveled with him too, except for that. You can get an idea of just how tall he really is. 9 inches, do the math. Now for his accessories. Let's see, the hand I currently have in hands, sorry, no pun intended, is the one that's meant to hold these. I can't help but wonder why they only include 2. He should probably have 3. If anything, he should be able to hold 1, but no, he can't hold just 1. It has to be either both or neither. It's kind of odd. Then his signature knife, even though we saw in the movie he had like 3 or 4. That's the hand that holds the knife. It's actually flexible enough that if you wanted to stick a gun in there, which I've done before, then it'll work. And then his open hand, which is on him and packaged. The one I have him equipped with right now is the fist that you'll find there. And let's see. Here is the first alternate head. It is exactly the same as the one that's currently equipped. The only difference is the smudged makeup. I think this is supposed to be him from the interrogation scene of the movie. And next is the bank robber mask. And like I said, if this was the right costume for it, it'd be awesome. Otherwise, it just looks kind of odd, like a cheat code in the middle of a video game. In fact, I don't think you can pick up on this camera, but his eyes are in there. But otherwise, yeah, it looks pretty good. So, for a highly expensive figure that is about half the size of a Player's Kai figure, I say go for this. It's way better. I love this thing. I'd rather buy this than the Hot Toys version. If you can, go out and buy it. It's probably gonna become the rarest of the series. I could be wrong. Maybe Heath Ledger's stuff isn't selling like it used to. I remember in 2008 and 9, it was, scarce. But yeah, see if you can find this. If you do, get it. You don't have to open them. It's a good investment. If anything, he just looks awesome on your shelf. Evening. Batman. Where are they? Well, wow. I can actually understand what you're saying for once. Why so serious? You wanted me. Here I am. I wanted to see what you do, and you didn't disappoint. You let your fan base die. Then, you become hit with video games. Even for a guy like me, that's cold. Those producers want things to go back to the way things were. But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed things. Forever. Then why do you want to kill me? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? I go back to theatrics in the really crappy movie? No, you complete me. You're garbage who kills for money. And you are an actor who just vanished for quite some time, had a fan base that went on for quite a while, and then after Justice League, you just disappeared for a little while until the fans had you brought back for Arkham's Asylum. And guess what? We had to deal with Christian Bale the whole time while you were gone. Does it depress you, Batman, to know that after Christian Bale is gone, you have to deal with Ben Affleck, who most of the fans seem to hate, but occasionally has a few people here and there who think that he's good because of a certain movie he directed and acted in? You think that's gonna redeem everything? Especially since it is in fact a Superman movie. Yeah, everyone forgot about that, didn't they? It's a Superman movie. The only reason why Batman's in it is because they're trying to rush this out for Justice League. What does this have to do with anything about what we're talking about right now, Joker? You want to know how I got these scars? No. It was August 22nd, 2013. It was my birthday. It was actually a very good birthday, just hanging out with my friends. In fact, I even got one of the coolest action figures I could ever add to my collection, even if it did cost me $78. Well, at least it was not my money. They ought to know they bought it. Anywho, I come home, I check my Facebook, and I see all the announcements of Ben Affleck is the new Batman. I don't like that at all. Not one bit. So, I found it very depressing. I couldn't smile anymore for days. So, I stick a razor in my mouth and I do this to myself. And you know what? I'm still not smiling. I'm still not smiling. And I keep looking at myself in the mirror and I keep asking myself, despite the smile I cut on myself, I keep asking myself, why so serious? And I keep asking myself without an answer, why so serious? And why so serious? It is a Superman movie after all.